Now let's turn our attention to Shanksville, Pennsylvania, where at 10:03 a.m. 20 years ago on September 11th, hijackers plunged United Flight 93 onto the ground. VOA's Kane Farabaugh is on the scene today in Shanksville, and he joins us now to tell us more about the commemoration activities and what it means to the people in Shanksville region. Kane, you were there years ago. Can you give us a sense of, what you saw and what has happened over those years from your perspective?
Well, when I was here on September 11th, 2001, this was simply a strip mine, an abandoned strip mine, a field of no particular distinction. And September 11th obviously changed that. I say to a lot of people who I talk about the story with, the events that happened here in Pennsylvania, it was the biggest story of my career, but on 9/11, it was the smallest story of the day, given everything else that was happening across the country. But it wasn't until the weeks and the months after the 9/11 terrorist attacks that the full story of what happened on Flight 93 became public, became known to a lot of people. And the general understanding is that Flight 93, the terrorists who hijacked that airplane, intended to crash it into the Capitol building in Washington, D.C. And so now the transformation over the last 20 years of this site, it's gone from a mine to a memorial, and it is the final resting place of 40 souls who bravely apparently took over the cockpit in order to take over the airplane from the hijackers. And ultimately, where the plane fell from the sky is the resting location right behind me here. And this is the site now that is a memorial and also a cemetery. Yeah.
Now, most people may not have even heard of Shanksville. What has this meant to the community in general, besides just the memorial being there?
Well, interestingly enough, right before we did this talk with you, Vincent, I happened to just pass by an elderly couple that was here, and they asked me for directions on where they should go to see the site here. And they happened to tell me that they were among the first people that actually came to this site on 9/11. They heard the explosion, they saw the smoke, they came here, the trees were on fire. This is the first time they have been to this site since 9/11. They haven't decided to come here before, but obviously this is a site of prominence for them. It dramatically transformed the landscape around where they live. This is now a top tourist attraction, a top destination to visit while coming to this region. And for this elderly couple that was here to see what this looks like now, some 20 years after they were here on the events that unfolded that day, for them, it's dramatic. But it also put their town on the map. I mean, a lot of people didn't know about Stoystown or Shanksville, Pennsylvania. Now they do.
And what is planned for this anniversary in Shanksville?
So right now there is quite a bit of activity here. There are, several hundred people that are visiting the site today. Because of COVID-19 concerns, the commemoration event on September 11th in the morning is going to be closed to the public. But former President George W. Bush, Vice President Kamala Harris, they both plan to attend the commemoration event here September 11th in the morning. And then once the commemoration event is over, this site will open back up to the public at around noon on September 11th. Now, before that, on the evening of September 10th, tonight, there will be a luminara or a candlelight vigil in which it'll be a dramatic sort of honoring of those 40 souls on that airplane that gave their life.
Thanks, Ken. Good to see you looking as young as you looked 20 years ago. That's VOA's Kane Farabaugh reporting live from Shanksville, Pennsylvania.